Oh, got it.
See how we can share the screen. Gotta be a setting.
All right, guys. All right, we are in.
Awesome.
All right, hello everybody. We are live on YouTube right now. We got the guys from Nowhere to Run Arm Wrestling and a couple awesome guests. We're still waiting for Isai Martinez. I'll be looking for him to join in soon. So let's start off first with up in the bubble that says D. Elston for Dominic Elston. That is actually Josh Edwards, one of our main guys with Nowhere to Run Arm Wrestling, who is throwing together this amazing super match series here in Bakersfield, California, North versus South. What's up, Josh?
What's up, buddy? Yeah, sorry about that. I'm using Dom's phone because mine is real just shoddy. So I'm using his phone this time.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Well,
so all the hate messages go to D. Elston.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Yeah, I'm going to think of that for next time. All right. And underneath that, we've got it's Eric Rodriguez, correct?
Gonzalez.
All right. Eric, how's it going today, man?
Not too bad, man. Glad to be a part of the live stream.
So I heard you guys chatting a little bit a minute ago about the practice. You were all at a pretty massive practice together.
Yeah, up at Mike McGraw. He was holding his practice that he does every 2 weeks. And yeah, it was just a really good turnout. Everybody was there from, all the big names, all the big guys from up north. They all wanted to get in now heavy practice before April 1st. So no, it was really exciting time yesterday. Everybody was laughing, having a great time, and just that vibe, man, the energy that we all search for. Yeah, it was definitely there yesterday.
Right on. And so it was everybody that's in here. Were you all at that practice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So was this the last big practice before the event? Are you guys all starting to taper from here? Was this the heavy day? Heavy day.
Yeah, this was the last heavy.
Right on.
Light stuff in recovery for now.
Very nice. Yeah, mine was Sunday. We had a small practice, but some heavy hitters there, and just got one of those really good focused practices. And I told myself I wouldn't go that heavy because I've been shoveling way too much snow the past three weeks or so. I already came hurting, but it all went to the right place. Starting to feel good. All right.
That
So
was me yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I was banged up. So
that's good.
It was painful. It was painful, but it was fun.
Hey, what's that, Don?
I said I'm working today doing hand texture, so I'm still feeling it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, you're working after the day we had yesterday?
Yes, sir. And the day after that, so I'm still in training.
That was an aggressive practice yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
So
did anybody catch the name of that Russian kid that came? What was his name?
Oh man. Eli, I think it was.
Eli or something like that, right? Yeah, new prospect in the sport, super heavyweight. I don't know if he's been doing any tournaments or anything, but man, that guy was super strong.
That's always cool.
He actually wants a match, honestly.
Oh,
he does?
Yeah, he's already got a match. Last night, set it up with Jody. Jody called me, Jody Smith. I'm sure everybody, listening knows who Jody is. He's one of the top guys in California, has been for, the past couple of years in his weight class. So he's been training with the Russian, and he is excited. This guy's energy for the sport is insane. I mean, he wants to go to every practice and everything. And he literally had his mom call me on FaceTime yesterday and translate so that we could talk back and forth together. And then when he found out that he could come to this event, watch physically, he was so excited. And then he said, well, how much do I need to pay you guys so I can arm wrestle? And no, man, come and arm wrestle. And so his mind was blown, and he's he's there. So they called me last night and we set him up with a match. So he has a match. That's
cool.
The books are closed.
The books are closed.
Awesome.
Very
I
nice.
think everybody's pretty excited about this.
Yep.
I've never experienced anything like it. I know in the years that I've done things with the tournaments, but because most of the time, you don't get a chance to hit a guy again sometimes if you get beat, unless you see him again. Maybe if you climb the losers bracket up back into the winning part of it, you might not see that person again, and maybe even not for a year, unless you travel. And having a super match and being able to try a second and third time, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. It gives you every opportunity to see, who's the winner, who's the better person. Gives you a chance to adjust, wake up,
Yeah.
whatever you need to do.
Right. I mean, you might be able to try a different technique that works better against that person too. So,
Right.
because sometimes it's over so quick that you just wait, I want to do that again, and now you'll be able to do it again. So
Right.
Try a different
pretty
lane or
awesome.
something.
And what you're
Yeah.
just saying, I want to ask real quick, and then we'll get over to you, Casey. So you said you've never seen anything like that. Now, Don,
Right.
yeah, I'm just getting to know you, Don Mormon here. You're known as a legend in this sport, from what I understand. I've been talking to you a little bit. You've been in this for a very long time, and I love talking to
Yeah,
guys like you for that exact reason. Like, what has been done, what hasn't been done, what's some cool ass story that you might even have, you know what I mean?
Well, even like I said, the tournament versus actually being able to stay on the table with that guy is completely different. Um, all the tournaments, like I said, sometimes you don't even get a chance to pull someone else again. I mean, for instance, in all the tournaments I did, it always seemed like I was always getting eliminated right towards that end, to where I never got to pull Fisher.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like, I never even got to pull that guy. I was
Yeah.
close, but I got third and I got eliminated then. And so it's things like that where, you know, um, it's just different. Now you can have a challenge. Now, if you're actually getting, you see, I don't even know where I insert myself yet coming back into the sport. So, um, but the idea of all these super matches, it's just, and they're doing the one table thing. All the focus is on that match, and that means that all the energy in the room is going towards that match. And I got to experience it for the first time at Mike's house when they did a club challenge over there, where we had 3 clubs. And they actually asked me to ref it, and I had a blast. And I just thought it was so cool to see the clubs come together to have this, because a lot of times when you have local tournaments, you see the same people. You see the same group. It's like you're battling. Sometimes it's almost like you're just competing now with the same people you train with.
Mm,
And now to get these other people and faces and everybody joining in differently like that, I think it gives more people a focus too of, wow, I can challenge this guy. I don't have to be the top guy. I can still have a challenge. See
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that match is yours, and that makes that unique. And again, all that energy is going towards that one match in that room at that point. It's not like 4 tables going, 3 tables, whatever you might have. And I think that's really cool. It's really exciting. I'm pumped about it. I mean, I don't care which way my arm goes. I just want to pull.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that is a very interesting component of this. I think you were comparing it with tournaments, and I think the reason why you would think of that versus any other super match series that has been going on, at least for the last few years, is that this super match series does feel like a tournament format. We got a lot of guys pulling, and it's going to be pretty rapid fire. And it's a big event, just like a tournament, but all super matches. It's going to be so cool.
I actually started at the same time when Kenny Hughes did. we actually trained together when we first started. Kenny Hughes was like 15 and I was turning like 30, I guess, or something like that. And we were training at Dick's Gym in Los Banos with Bill Collins, Mark Pryor, and Mike McGraw and Dave were in there. And then we ended up going to Mike's house, and then it moved to my house training for a while. So I was back in the day when they first got the arm benders together. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Hey, we got the Grizzly in here, Mr. Casey Stevens. How's it going today? Oh,
Awesome. Feeling sore for sure.
Filling up that screen with your forearm, brother.
Oh yeah. got my ass handed to me quite a few times yesterday, but all in the best way.
Very cool. Right on. So
hey, just to piggyback real quick off of what you and Don was just talking about is we were talking about this yesterday at the practice, is the marketability of this type of event is so much more, because when we go to a tournament, we're up there, we're focused on our class that's coming up and this and that, and you don't get as much crowd interaction because everybody's focused on their time, when it's coming, this and that. With the team aspect and the different guys from the different sides going to compete against each other, like Don was saying, the individual on the table and the focus is on them. Now that crowd is way more involved, because that's what we're focusing on. Nobody's focusing on the next weight class or when there's this or that. And so I feel like the marketability of it is so much higher and has a huge potential. And that's going to help it grow,
Right.
Really,
and just a better energy overall during the event, for sure.
Yeah, I noticed that when at the California Fit Expo, because everybody was like ecstatic. Even casual people just walking by were like tuning in and watching the super match. It was like the most buzzing event at the time. There was powerlifting going next door, and people were still fixated on the super matches.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is a shame with tournaments. It does seem a lot of times, when they're working on the lightweights are in it and they're there to watch and everything. They bump up to the next weight class, the lightweights are taken off, and their supporters or whatever. And you're right, this is different for that reason. I just want to mention real quick, we were supposed to have Isai Martinez. He's actually one of my team members from Alpha Empire. He was going to be on with us. Isai, if you're watching and you're still, I think you were maybe working with the Zoom app a little bit, you're welcome to come in at any point. I should see from my end that you're logging in, and I'll let you in whenever you have everything sorted. Don't be afraid to hop in here whenever you're ready. But if you can't, we'll get at you on one of these next interviews we're doing, which I want to actually bridge into. Josh, you were discussing potentially doing some team chats in here on the live stream leading up to the event, so we could get each team that has competitors competing in your super match series. Tell us a little bit about that, what you're thinking.
Well, the biggest thing that I was thinking about that was that just like these matches, we don't want to leave anybody out, and the amateur is just as important as the pro. I feel the same way with anything that we're doing. So this marketing and these interviews that we're doing, I want everybody to be involved. I don't want one person to be missed. Otherwise, we're cherry picking, like had been mentioned. I would love to stay away from that, because there's no favoritism here. With the team coming on all at once, there's no need to have the competitors as much on the same time as there is have the team, and that each guy will talk about their match that's coming up and if they know anything about their competitor or whatnot, because I don't feel that there's going to be much banter back and forth as far as hype and trolling. We're all happy to do this, and we want to just pull. So, yeah. I think we'll be able to run through a lot more interviews in a lot quicker of a time that way. I mean, you could do 5 streams and get through everybody,
Okay.
So.
Who are you thinking first? The arm benders, or
I'd love to have you guys on. Start it from the south and then move up. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, I was thinking that would kind of be cool. Start from the south and then move up and end with the north.
Do we have any other southern competitors outside of Alpha Empire?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Orange,
there's Orange County has a few, and then I'm not sure of all their names. I believe that the one is called the Arm Grinders, I want to say, and then West Side Arm Wrestling. I'm not sure. Like I'm sorry. I don't know.
I want to say West Side's LA team.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
they could be the Long Beach. And I think Grinder team is the San Diego team that trains down there with Fisher and Depew.
Because I believe we have 5 on each side, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, teams. Yeah, it's about that. With the bulk of it being that the majority of these matches, they're probably the Arm Benders and Alpha Empire probably holds the most matches. Like if we're just like numbering it down, and then we have a few guys on our team. There's a few guys on the Orange County team. There's a few guys on the Bay Area team. Sacramento has a couple of guys. And so I know that trickled out through there. The other teams do have 1 or 2 guys on there. But yeah, the bulk of it, I would definitely say Alpha and Orange County probably hold the bulk of the matches for sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, and in regards to that, for those live streams that we're going to do with each team, I guess what we're going to be doing is getting a little more in depth with each person in the discussions on their backgrounds and stuff like that. So we'll dive into you guys too. All of us we'll get more in depth in those. And I'm gonna have Malia, can you come over here? I'm gonna have her bring her phone over so I can see what's going on in the chat. We can make sure and interact. Just bring your phone over and okay, turn the volume all the way down for me.
Shout out to your wife Malia too for all the help and you guys, getting together to do this. It's really cool.
All the testing and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to say hi, Malia? She's the little beast. She's the little beast that needs they need to make 2, or weight classes 2 or 3 lower than what we have for girls right now. But that's why she's a beast.
I'm sure that will grow. The women's categories are probably going to expand, and there probably will be different weight classes. It seems like more are getting involved than they were.
Yeah, we got 3 female matches.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, 3 of them. Yeah. Really cool.
There definitely seems to be more people interested than some years ago.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's just growing more and more right now.
Yeah.
A lot of strength sports are starting to peek their head into this.
In the Bay Area, Matt said he's always seeing a couple new guys here and there. So they keep going.
I think we had 2 first-timers yesterday at Mike's house. Never seen them before. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then Manjot brought his dad and his couple friends.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Okay, guys. So we got Paul Stevens in the chat. What's up, Paul? Paul, you pretty beast. You've got the most uncomfortable hand to grip up with. I'll be rooting for you. Hey, what's up, Caleb? We got Caleb Armbender in here. I watched some of the East versus West qualifier. Looked like you did pretty good. You were definitely hanging in there and giving a battle with some heavy hitters. And who else do we got? We got Weed Review. Can't wait for the first. Weed Review, who are you?
That's Juan Mariles.
All right.
Juan? Okay.
Is Juan going to be competing, or is he just going to come hang out?
Yeah, he has a little match on the card. He's 116 pounds, so he's like the lightest guy. So hard to find him anybody even close to his weight, like really.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has the match on there. So
yeah, you know what I love about the littlest guys, like 130 and below, they usually have the best form, because they've got to tap into every bit of their muscle synergy, you know,
And energy for days.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It oftentimes seems the bigger the guy, you know, usually they're stronger and they can get away with using just their arm, or, you know, maybe a little bit less form. And that progression seems to be a little slower for the big guys. And then we've got some new guy on our team, Derek Trung, and he is an absolute beast. I mean, he can't be more than 130 pounds. I think he's like somewheres in the high 120s. And he looks like one of those European pullers that have been doing it forever, but he gets in there, he accesses everything. And so when we get a new person, especially the smaller ones in his weight class, but really a brand new person, I actually like sending him over to Derek, just because he knows how to access all those things, and it actually helps him stay a little safer too, you know.
Right. Do you guys get a good flow of new people coming into Alpha?
We do. We had the past 2 practices, at least that I attended, it was really cool. We had some of the father-son dynamic come in for the first time. Yeah, one daddy was really cool, came in with his son a few weeks back, and he had been following arm wrestling on YouTube for a while, so he's been following Derek. And I think, you know what, that was the practice we had Larry Wheels over at, and this kid who's like maybe 12 years old, he's just like,
oh wow,
you know, like just this massive practice. And of course we had everyone else there. We had Jamie, we had Dallas, we had a lot of people.
Oh, that's
there.
Amazing practice.
And this last small one Sunday that I was at, there was another father-son, and this little kid was a beast. He was probably about the same, like 116 or something like that. And just very strong kid. We were all very surprised. His name was it Kaleo, I want to say, Malia, something like that. I suck at names, but he was a sponge, super smart. What all these people were throwing at him, he just picked it all up and was doing it. You know, he's gonna go far.
That's kind of the one thing that we have missing from this event. My son, he's 9. He goes everywhere with us and arm wrestles, and he loves it. He wanted a match so bad with James Fowler's son because they pulled last year at the Grinder tournament.
Right.
And I was trying super hard to find like somebody for my son to pull, but I couldn't. But a kid's match, I feel like, would have been a huge, highlight as well. Just because it shows like the females, like everybody else, showing the diversity of it. I think, really would have been cool. But yeah, moving forward, I know that's definitely something that would be cool to get more kids involved in California.
Absolutely.
We have tons of arm wrestlers here, and I know plenty of them got children.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing that, I think, definitely shows it more of an actual sport with technique and stuff like that. There's just this whole stigma with arm wrestling where the people that don't do it have only known it to be this ballroom, like macho ego kind of thing, but it's the kindest community, and there's a lot more to the sport than that. And that also makes me think about something I've been thinking lately. I was definitely on the whole train with the whole like WWE style way of, making arm wrestling look to bring in new viewers and entertainment and stuff. And I still kind of get it to an extent, but I've in the last year been having people like family and friends come to me and asking me, so what is it with arm wrestling? I'm watching these videos of, you pulling or somebody else pulling in a match, and it looks like sometimes you guys are just relaxing. Like, are you acting? Like, are you just waiting for, a certain moment or something? And I'm like, you guys, you have no idea how much pressure is at that table when they're sitting here like this, breathing and thinking of what move to make. And the reason I say that is I feel like things like that shows that a lot of the outside perspectives see it as something that's fake or weird or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm more now, I feel like, on the train of somehow informing, people with all these great videos and everything that we're putting out. Yeah.
So
I don't know how you would do
like
it.
that. I just had an experience like that at a local welding class that I go to. And there was the guys in my welding class, and then I was building an arm wrestling table, and then they started asking questions about it, and they're like, "Hey, you're an arm wrestler, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a beginner, but done a few tournaments and stuff." And then they were like, were intrigued by, well, how do you arm wrestle? What do you do? And then I showed them briefly. There's different moves to it. It's not just like moving your arm to one side. There's different techniques that you do, and kind of highlighted some of the top roll, the hook and all that stuff. And they were like, minds were blown afterwards. They were like, what?
That's always it. That's the ticket is the gripping up,
Yeah.
When a new person comes to a practice.
Who brought a lot of attention that made it more broad too is ET, the Whisperer, biker, whatever you want to call it. His videos, if you look at the people that were commenting on his videos, he was reaching other people, and a lot of people that are commenting were thinking about the sport just as you described. It was just a barroom brawl type thing, and they made him look at it different. So he did hit a ball, and so that, I think media is probably the answer to put it out there. And the question is are you going to make it exciting enough to grab people and make them want to watch, make them want to listen, make them want to learn? And again, what was described before is in other sports, you can't go to a pro and just go walk up and shoot hoops with a basketball player, but you can go grip up with a pro arm wrestler, and they're very humble and they're very approachable, and they're willing to teach people of any age. And that's all, and people need to know that it is an open sport and people are welcome, and it's a very, very cool community of people. They're there for each other,
Right.
Yeah. That's what I've gotten the whole time that I've been arm wrestling is everybody's so welcoming and willing to teach you, because I feel like Don said, with other sports it's not the case.
Yeah, one of the eye openers I see for people that haven't done it, that are seeing ET's videos, is kind of drawing back to that question people ask me, like, are you relaxing? You look too like relaxed or comfortable or whatever, when they don't know the pressures applied. Well, ET's whole thing is he'll get a strong man in there that's never done it. He gets these big, strong dudes. And ET is sitting there holding them defensively like that and getting his cool whisper on, coaching them while they're going. But you can actually see in those instances that strong man or whatever that's pulling him, given everything that he's got. And I think that puts a little bit of perspective, how much pressure these trained arm wrestlers are trained to be able to hold and put on their frame, and the technique involved.
What I tell people is, I tell them ET will, when ET gets in a really hard match, he won't be whispering. And that's when he's really putting it to it, though. But for your average person, he's able to get that lock in there and just hold all that pressure really good. And but he, it does take a lot of torque.
I'm somebody that loves good long static pulls in a practice, and if he ever shows up to a practice to ours, because he kind of runs the East chapter of our team, but when he comes, I'm like, yes, he'll go all day. He's very strong and really good endurance. I was born in Southern California, so you want to have a North chapter? So we've also got Ben.
I love it. We're growing the sport.
Yeah. we got Benjimac in the chat. What's up, Benji? He says yo. We got Pablo Ochoa. What's happening, Pablo? Good afternoon to you as well. So we just had the East versus West qualifier down here in San Diego. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I brushed up on some of the matches I've seen on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. I watched it a bit too, and I tried to take note of a lot of the wins. I missed some, so you guys are going to have to help me out. But first off, I definitely want to throw out a shout out to my buddy Martin Kemp. He got, I mean, I think he's sitting at, he's dropped a bit of weight. He's down to like 165. New to the sport.
Yeah.
And he got second place in the 201 class, I think. I don't know how they were doing the class, but it was right around 200 pounds, I believe. He also, so the amateur 200s, which is huge, and the third place, same arm for the 170. They were weird classes. I think it was like 171. I don't think it was 176. And I also noticed Lonnie, she got a first place over Blanca for second. And yeah, I think, yeah, Bridget was top 3 as well. And there was a girl that got first that I hadn't seen before. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
Who was it, Sarah?
Could it have been? Because I thought Sarah competed at the other East versus West. Are you talking Latona?
No.
LaFond?
LaFont. Yeah.
It could have been.
It looked like, I thought I saw her in the picture with Blanca.
Maybe it was. I think she might have had glasses on this time. I don't know if it was her. It just looked different. Who else did we have coming in? I know Caleb did well. Who am I missing?
Caleb.
Shoot, Larry pulled.
Yeah.
Larry pulled Dave Depew and Tugs from up north from Matt's team. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. Yeah, Larry's definitely, he's learning this sport, man, really fast, and he is taking off, man. He is taking off. We Casey and I actually had the pleasure to be over there in Arizona. We did a couple super matches, and we were there for Larry and Dustin Allen's super match, which was super impressive. I mean, you know, Larry completely, you know, dominated that match. It was cool. And so he's making his name, and now he's in California. I have a feeling those rankings are going to start shaking up.
Oh yeah. He's going places for sure. I mean, how can he not if he's taking it seriously? And I have so much respect for the guy, not just from meeting him at our practice. He's very humble. But he wasn't one of like those big shots that showed up to our practice for an hour, filmed some stuff and took off. He was there the whole practice pulling, like until like the last of us were there. He pulled long and hard, and he allowed the vets to get on the table with him and work with him, really humble towards tips. But how cool is it for somebody at his level and I guess reputation, his social media reputation, to be willing to register into some of these tournaments? You know what I mean? It's not only really good for experience, but you know, most guys at that level, you would in the strength sport industry, you would think that they'd want to kind of control the narrative and leave less open to chance. But he's a purist. He's in it. He's registering in tournaments, and just, you know, however it goes, he's in. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and he's always welcome to pull everybody. I've noticed every time we've seen him, anyone who comes to the table, he's willing to try.
Right. Yes, I definitely like that guy, and I hope he does really good. His hand and wrist are super strong. Of course, his biceps are nuts, but yeah, I've been following since he started, and he, you know, used to a lot of times pull in that kind of open top roll area. And the first thing I noticed is, yeah, he's getting in there. His form, his adjustments, they're smart. And how can they not be? Because all the best pullers in the world are coaching him. So. So did we miss anything on the East versus West qualifier? Anybody that we want to give some shout outs to?
Well, I mean, Jamie looked amazing against Noah.
Oh, Noah, yeah.
What was that, 3-0?
It's all them.
Yeah, it was.
It's all them damn Italian subs he's been eating.
That's
Every day I
right.
see him posting 3 or 4 sandwiches.
That's right.
But I got to go try one of those. Shout out to Anton's Italian Eatery, right?
Yeah.
We're going down there. So
Yeah.
Jamie looked good, man. He's put on some weight, and he looked like the Jamie that everybody knows.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's when experience trumps,
Yep.
over everything. They're ready to go. He was just on it, like just flashing him. Like that guy didn't have. Yeah, I think he caught him like barely once at the bottom, and then it was over before he knew it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple things. I have pulled Noah in a couple of those big OC combined practices that they do, and he is strong. He's really strong.
Pretty serious.
He's strong. I just haven't seen him at tournaments or big matches like this, and so it was good on him for not only going for that, but calling someone out like Jamie. But even more, what I respect is Jamie taking the match. Just like the supermatch series you're doing. One thing that I'm a stickler for is, I get it if you're like elite, but some guys that are higher up in the rankings or whatever, or their experience than somebody lower that's calling them out. And they're like, no, you're not worth my time, or no, put up all this money or something like that. If we all did that, the rankings would stop, I really think everybody should, if somebody calls you out, take it as a compliment and give them a match, and you never know.
And a lot of people that took matches, a lot of high level guys are taking on people. Some of them, they've never even heard of their opponent before, and they're still willing to do it. Didn't question what their rank was and anything. It was awesome to see.
Definitely. Absolutely. We have a couple more comments here in the chat. First, Caleb, he said, growing the California scene of arm wrestling is the most active it's ever been in years. Don, what do you think about that? Do you think we're the most active it's been in years?
Looks like it to me. The interest is growing. Again, I think social media is changing the whole, is going to help change the whole sport. Well, that and even people like you and the other clubs and getting this interest and making things happen. Again, I think it's nice to pay attention to all the top guys, but what they're doing here is, when you have the top guys, that's cool, and we like watching that and we really enjoy it. But when you cater to everyone else, hey, and they can be a part of the big show too, that's going to grab a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. And because of that, and because of anybody that can come in and learn, there's people that are afraid to step up to the table. I had a guy, I don't know if you guys know Dave Burns, but Dave Burns is from up here, and he pulled some years back, and he might be coming back in too. I don't know if he has a match, but he come knocking on my door and wanted to, back when people were meeting at my house, he said, I heard people train here at your house. But he himself even wanted to come in before we trained, just for me to tell him if he had it, if it was even worth him trying, So I think some people are a little leery to step up to that table and give it a try. And you shouldn't, because again, everybody starts somewhere. Even when I stepped back in this, I had to go against the lighter guys if I'm going to have a match, because everyone else was beating me. Right. I'm just, and so I knew I needed to train, and I needed to train hard. So I did. And you see yourself progress, and then pretty soon you kind of enter yourself into this game, and it starts becoming a lot of fun. Again, the more it grows, it seems like the more fun it is. I think it's definitely a sport of the more the merrier. And if people are actually going to sit back and and watch you without, like you were talking earlier, where when people aren't getting something or they're done and just split, you know, and when people hang out and they're there still for you, that's really cool.
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to say is even at the lower levels, if the matches are close to each other and they're stuck in the middle, it's fun to watch. Like, yeah, you get higher guys that are close to each other and they're battling now, but even that happens, it's entertaining. If they're close, if they're battling, if it's not an easy win, even at an amateur level, it's entertaining to watch.
Absolutely. That's when the crowd goes wild for sure.
Yeah.
You want to see a match go out a little bit. You don't want to see that real quick flash pin. Unless it's Ole Mosai. Those flash pins are like, whoa, what the hell? He's like spinning off the stage and stuff like that.
Flash Larry, which was pretty incredible knowing their size difference.
It was a good plan, that's for sure. He just tried to be first and get him where he needed him to be. So yeah, he's amazing. I think Caleb was correcting us on who the other girl was that I saw that got gold in one of the weight classes. It was Tara Terry, he says. You guys know who that is?
It was Tara?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Robert Terry's daughter.
She's pulling in a north versus south too.
Oh, cool. Well, where's she from?
Yeah, she has a match. She's from way up north.
Whoa, okay.
I don't know exactly the city they live in, but it's up north somewhere. Don might know.
Wow, good on her. Sounds like she's committed.
They're representing north. Yeah, her and her dad
north.
both are pulling.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was really entertaining. I watched most of the stream for the East versus West qualifier here, and the overalls looked nuts. Does anybody else want to mention anything else about that one? We've got a couple other events I want to cover too. Nope.
Well, yeah, I mean everything.
Well, we've got one other thing coming up that's going to be super cool. Florida versus California. That's going to be that's going to be
I've seen that.
May.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's is that Chant Shaw's promotion or something like that's putting that on, or
I believe so. Yeah, Brandon Lee, I think is maybe the key member. I don't really know, but I know Chance is involved. I don't know who's really running it, but I have been following their live streams on mostly talking about the event. They're looking to come out here pretty hard. They're looking to sweep us, guys.
Yeah, Artem, Chance, all them guys. Yeah, it's going to be huge, and it's kind of cool because I mean this all couldn't have happened at a better time. It's literally all stemming together to make something big. I mean, the idea that we're talking about having teams go to different states. I mean, this is a start right here. It's going to be amazing. Yes. It's going to be super fun, and we need to do it. We need to do it to them. We need to whatever happens. We need to invade Florida next time.
That's right. Yeah, the guy they got going against me, like, you know, he's I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna give him everything I can to beat him. I will win one way or another, but I'm a nice guy. I can't help but feel bad for the guy to travel 2,000 plus miles to.
Don't you feel nice when you're at the table?
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy him the best beer or the top shelf drink afterward. Yeah.
You leave those thoughts at home that day.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's gonna be a good
Kane,
time.
what do you walk around at, Kane?
165.
That's your walk around weight?
Currently, yeah. I was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you
were walking around a little bit lighter last year. I mean, weren't you?
Yep.
Were you pulling like 150 and stuff?
Yeah. When I pulled Davo.
Okay.
Yeah, Don, you were talking about how regardless win or lose, you know, you grow in this sport. I came in 3.5 years ago, I want to say, and it'll be 4 years in November. I know the day, it was November 8th. That's how impactful the first practice was. It was just freaking cool. But
Right.
I was 142 pounds, I think,
Oh wow.
when I came into my day one. And I put on a quick like 15 pounds or so within months after that. Just, I mean, you get so beat up, and it's a workout like no other to train for this sport. You know, the first few days after every time I train, I eat like I've never eaten before in my life, because you need it, you know, to recover and not feel crippled. But yeah, right now I'm real cozy at 165.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I thought you were, I mean, at least from what I watched last year, I knew you were one of the lighter guys in that class, and you were kind of pulling guys that were a few pounds more than you anyway, kind of like the Chewy situation, or some guys like that, or like Brandon from up there at the arm benders. I mean, he walks around like 125 or something, you know, but he has to pull the 165s. I mean, that's the classes they have. So,
Yeah,
but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Both of those guys are beasts too. Yeah. I pulled Brandon. It's been a while. I think it was 2 months into the sport. I pulled him at the Reno IFA qualifier. Man, that dude's tough for his size, and so is Chewy.
In the practices, he's one of the last to leave.
I believe it. I believe it.
I was pulling him yesterday.
He goes all day.
He's strong. Yeah, he's super strong.
He goes all day.
Yeah. The funny thing about Chewy was, like, I mean, he surprised the crap out of me the first time we pulled in a tournament. He's got some bicep on him. But, I asked him in the after pull, we gripped up and pulled a little bit. And I said, what do you do for a living? Because he's got some good hands too. And
A barber.
He says, I cut hair. Jeez,
Hey,
man.
the little movements like this all day long probably make his wrist and hand super strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has a little bit of a background. I mean, he was a standout wrestler in Santa Maria.
Okay.
You know, all over their newspapers, like constantly. I mean, he's definitely an athlete. He's like one of those naturals, right?
Right.
But yeah, Chewy's one of those that we just, if he could get just a little bit more motivated to get out there and keep competing, you know, because everybody has their own lives and whatnot. But if he just started to compete more, I mean, I think that kid would really make some noise in that class for sure. He's a monster, you know. He's just his sheer strength, you know, alone.
Definitely.
So obviously, he picked up technique, but.
And I know it's tough for those guys because we don't get enough of them, just like the girls' classes, to make an appropriate class for them at a lot of tournaments. But they're soldiers for the sport, and as long as they keep doing it, they're going to be crazy strong because they're pulling with a bunch of bigger people. But we keep doing that, we're going to get those classes. We do need some sub 130 pound classes at tournaments. We've got enough people, I feel like, coming out that it eventually can be accommodated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something I love about this sport, that there's a place for everybody, just like any combat sport. There's somewhere for them to go, no matter what size or weight they are. So.
Right. And speaking
now,
of
Dean, have you ever? Oh, go ahead.
Well, just a brief thing. Speaking of beasts, we do have Carl Gurkey. I hope I pronounced your last name right, Carl, who is really strong beast. I believe he's from San Diego. He's asking if the list of matches has been published yet. That's on your page, right, on Facebook?
Yeah,
right.
we've all shared it as well. But yeah, you can definitely find it on the Nowhere to Run page or on Grizzly Arm Casey on Instagram. Now Casey has finally started a Facebook, so everybody can also message him on Facebook. Yeah, been telling him forever. I'm like, dude, you gotta do Facebook. The arm wrestlers are on Facebook.
Welcome to the dark side,
account.
man.
Yeah, I thought it was a spam account because he was like, "You have a friend request from Casey." I was like,
Yeah.
Just don't open it unless you have to, brother. That's my only advice.
But the list, to answer Carl's question again, the list has been posted. It is on there, the list of the matches. Now we are going to refine the list and put it in an order and post that soon so where everybody can see the order of the matches and know when they're going to be pulling. And like I said, that way we'll have like a printed out program. I mean, it may just be a piece of paper or whatever, but when people get there, the poolers will be able to have that paper in their hand and say, okay, I'm match number 13 or whatever it might be. And just to give them a kind of an idea of, pulling at this time or that time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But what I was going to ask is, have you ever attended the Patterson tournament? The Patterson Apricot
Yeah, you gotta
Festival?
come up.
I'd love to. Yeah, I love Northern California. It's been
It's the longest
maybe a
standing
couple years
tournament
since I've
in the
been up
United
there.
States.
Okay.
Yeah, so this will be
Yeah.
the 52nd year, I believe. I'm not somewhere around there, but it's an amazing tournament. It's the Kenny Hughes Memorial. They're doing it again with the Memorial Award and everything. It's just a real great turnout. I think that you guys really enjoy it. You should get some of the South guys to come up and come pull that tournament.
Okay. What's the date on that?
I
June.
don't have it right.
The first week of June, isn't it?
Or month,
Yeah, I believe it's June.
June?
Yeah.
Okay,
Usually
yeah.
I want
First week of
to
June.
say it's like the 6th or something like that. I could be wrong, but I could look. I think, Casey, maybe you could pull it up real quick. One of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very doable.
Hey, Kane.
What's up?
Kane. If you wanted to spend the night, you could stay at my place.
There
You're the
you
man,
go.
brother. Thank you.
there it is.
Thank
There's the
you.
invite.
See, you already got a place to crash for the Patterson festival.
I'll work it off, man.
I'm
If
about 30 minutes away.
I'll help you sand some texture.
Well, you're a carpenter yourself, aren't you, Kane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn, we got a whole bunch of construction guys in here.
Yeah.
It gives everybody a strong hand.
That's exactly. They make great arm wrestlers.
And I'm destruction.
Yeah.
Self-destruction, maybe.
Hey, either way, it doesn't matter. Don't tell anybody.
So Caleb says, I'll be pulling John Hutchinson both arms. He's a pinch heavier than 176. June 4th. Oh, is that at the Patterson?
Oh, the Patterson. Okay, awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. It'll be good to
So there
see
you
you,
go.
Caleb.
There you go. June 4th. Mark it on your calendar, Kane. We expect you to be there.
All right.
Dinner's on us.
We'll be there. And Caleb, when I see you in Bakersfield, I'm going to buy you a big beer. All right. You're killing it out there. And, I'm wishing you the best.
Speaking of Bakersfield, we're going to have a moment for people to call out whoever they want after all the super matches are done. We're going to do it in a way where you can it won't be public, you challenging someone, but we might do like a little letter system. Like you tell us who you want to challenge. We'll hand it to them at some point during the thing. And if they accept, you guys can have a match after all the super matches are done.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
Have a
I
whole
like
call,
it.
like say you didn't get a match in time and you still want to pull in a competitive way. We're doing that after the super matches.
Yes, I like it. I want to pull everybody after the super match series. If you didn't get to
There
pull
it is.
me.
Me and you, Kane.
Yeah. Let's do this.
No, I got
Look,
Kane first.
look,
I got this.
I'd have to cut off my leg, bro, just to even weigh in. Yeah. I weighed over at Mike McGraw's yesterday, and your boy's a little bit heavy, so
Getting them gains.
219 standing right now. Yeah.
At Armfest in December, me and Kane were supposed to pull, and we just never got the opportunity.
Armfest.
Yeah, I was back in December. That little
Right. That's yeah. That's where we met. That was a good practice. A lot going on there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's when
So
Jeff was
awesome.
down, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He had a match against Michael Brown.
Very cool. So you're wanting to do for the next live stream, you're wanting to do Alpha Empire or just one of the Southern teams?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as that's cool with everybody else. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever everybody thinks is fine. But yeah, I think that would be a good way to do it. And start from the South. And again, it could be this week is the South and next week is or whatever. Like this few days is the South, and then the next few days is the North, and leading right into the event.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take a look at the list of matches, and we can talk about how we can break that up. And get as many as we can, I guess, in one, because we've got so many teams down here. But yeah, we'll take a look. And speaking of teams, so the other thing that you were telling me about is the really cool thing that's under UAL that's happening in August, where we're doing more of a team situation, a team competition.
Yeah. So the UAL, Bill Collins. Part of our meeting that we had with him where we were planning the future was talking about the Anaheim Expo. We're going to be running the team championship there. It's going to be a national team championship. There will be a pro and an amateur team championship. Now it's going to run consecutive with the tournament, not a separate situation, but the tournament that's already being pulled, the points will be taken from the wins in the tournament and used towards the team title. So when the guys come and sign up, whether it's Alpha Empire or whatever, they're going to say, hey, these are my 5 guys on my team, one from each weight class. We'll figure out all the details as far as that, but that way we can get more of the team thing going, more people excited, more, atmosphere, and create a team title. Bill's all for it. He says we're going to do a really nice award. There'll be individual awards for each guy on the team, and then there'll be overall team award, like to put in the garage, like, something like that for the team captain or whatever.
And we're also pulling teams from nearby states. So it's not just going to be California teams. We're shooting for Nevada, Oregon, Washington, anyone nearby, Arizona, New Mexico. Teams can get to come in.
National.
That's what we're shooting for.
I love
national. It's a national championship. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's going to build a lot of camaraderie with the teams for sure. I mean, all the teams have it, but they're mostly pulling each other in these practices and matches and stuff like that. Small tournaments. It's going to be cool to watch teams unite and actually go after another team.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
They used to do.
Then you take your best team who won the team
Petaluma
championship in each place or whatever, because obviously doing the first national tournament, we'll probably get some guys, like Casey's saying, from the surrounding states. But moving forward, you like the Florida guys are coming out. Now you have your 5-man team to take on each state.
Right.
And now you have an actual team ranking, a team national ranking, which again, the marketability for a team is much smoother than an individual.
Definitely. I think it also kicks the door open for sponsors too.
Yes, 100%.
It's a lot harder to sponsor one individual, but when they know that whole team is going to be rocking their gear or promoting them or whatever, it's a bigger monster in a small sport to get behind,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
What did you say, Don?
even when you
earlier?
have restaurants and stuff like that where people sponsored someone on team, it's always teams, never one individual. So
Yeah,
Right.
that's
You
the
mentioned
whole
something
main
about
idea.
Don?
I said at Petaluma they used to enable you to enter teams, and they gave a team award because
that's cool.
yeah, I have a big 3.5-foot trophy at my house from it, from back in the day. I had my team picked out, and I had to pick one more person, and in come walking Ingen Terzi, and I went over to him and asked him if he wanted to be on our team, and he was, and he had a really good tournament, so he really helped us win that.
Hey,
maybe
that's a
that's
great
where it
last
needs
minute
to,
addition.
right? Maybe that's
What's
where it needs to be brought back to, is Petaluma for the championship or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
do regional events, and then the grand championship could be back in Petaluma where it started.
All right. So in the chat, let's see. No, I'll be pulling John at the SoCal Classic in Florida versus California. Oh, okay. Yeah. And we've got yeah, they're just chatting here. All right, guys, is there anything else that you want to cover tonight?
I wanted to touch on a little subject. We are going to be raffling off a table away to win or lose. Each person that has a match in the event, April 1st, will have their name put in a drawing, and we'll be giving away an arm wrestling table at the end.
I have
All
a
right.
question. If you have 2 matches, do you get 2 entries?
Sorry, Don. I'm excluded from the
I mean,
entering,
that would only be fair. But
right?
we're going to try to make it as fair as possible so everyone has an equal shot. Like I said, Eric is the one who is building that table, and he's donating it for the event to do that. So thank you so much to Eric for that. But
Nice.
yeah, he was the one who was like, hey, man, I don't think it should just be the winners. I think the losers, just the people competing in the match, you know, that makes it more of a raffle. And I'm like, okay, cool. So now one guy might win the match and the loser might win the table. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's something cool that something new, something, you know, a different award. Speaking of awards, I know we touched on it a tiny bit. I don't know if we did on the stream, but Tom Nelson, shout out to him. He's donating a huge trophy.
Oh, right.
It's called the California Cup. It says North versus South on it. It's to signify the strongest region of arm wrestlers in California. And it's going to be our legacy trophy. So he's going to be presenting it at this event to the winning side. And obviously from there, they'll have to decide who puts it where, or if it's sitting at the SoCal Arm Fest or whose house, or if it's sitting at Mike McGraw's or wherever. But yeah, it's going to have that legacy behind it, and really cool. So thank you to Eric. Thank you to Tom, like everybody really getting involved and helping this thing be as amazing as possible.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys. Anything else we want to cover before I start making some pasta for some local mountain friends coming over? What do we got?
Don't get too tired before we get to the pole, Kane.
What's that?
Don't get too tired before we get to pole.
Oh, that won't be a problem. I'll be just waking up for you, Don.
Okay.
Love it.
Does anyone
have
have
two
a
matches.
question?
Yeah, you got to beat the hell out of me for a couple hours, and then I'm good and ready to go.
That's
Okay,
good.
Good.
No, I actually look forward to learning a lot from you, brother.
Well, that always goes 2 ways, you know. You never know who you're gripping up with or how they're gonna feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
One last thing, real quick. Shout out to everybody who's watching, everybody that you mentioned in the chat, Carl, Caleb, Benji, Pablo, all you guys. Thank you so much for watching this and supporting. You know, we can't wait to see all you guys there.
Absolutely. We'll keep doing this, and we'll keep everyone posted for some really cool team interviews coming up. Thank you as well, everybody.
For sure.
And thank you guys. Yeah, have a lovely night, and thanks for helping me get all this going.
All
All
right.
right.
Arms
All right.
up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, brothers. Peace.